Welcome to Cooking with Lynn. Cooking again for the Cumberland Library. Actually, I'm baking today, and I'm making something for St. Patrick's Day, which, when you're looking at this, will be tomorrow, the 17th, obviously. I wanted to do something for that. Actually, somebody requested pistachio cake, which is what I'm making, and I'm pretty sure this is probably not going to be the pistachio cake they were talking about, but this is a nice, quick, and easy pistachio cake, and something that'll be good for a weeknight. So if you want to throw this together and have a little celebration, whether you're Irish or not, certainly can do that. I know corned beef and cabbage is big. I could have done that, but I don't like corned beef, even though I will probably make it for my husband. And Irish soda bread, I don't know, I don't drink green beer, so I figured pistachio cake since somebody requested it. So this is a lot of store-bought shortcuts, so it's really quite quick. It's not anything from scratch, really. So I'm gonna throw it together for you, and hopefully it'll come out great. I made an similar orange creamsicle cake last week for my husband's birthday, and it had kind of some of the same ingredients. So what you need is a box cake mix. I just grabbed a vanilla box cake mix. And this is pistachio cake. Oven's ready. Oven's preheated to 350, as always, usually when you're baking. Pistachio instant pudding. And I mean, you could use, if you don't like pistachios, you can either use the cake mix as is, and if you want to make it festive, just, put a few drops of green food coloring. But I'm going to throw the pistachio pudding. It actually makes it a little moister too, so that's a good thing. And so for the frosting, it's not even really frosting. It's vanilla pudding mixed with Cool Whip and a little bit of milk. So, and that comes out really good, and it's nice because it's not a super sweet frosting. It's not that, some of the canned frostings are a little cloyingly sweet, and not everybody likes them. So I've actually seen people scrape the frosting off, which, yeah, to me, I like it, but everybody's different. I'm going to do this in a 9x13, and I'm not going to turn it out. I'm going to leave it in the pan and just frost it in here. And that seems to be a little bit easier just for serving purposes and everything. And transporting, I'm actually going to bring this to work for my coworkers. Yeah, you could do it in a bundt pan. You don't even need to frost it. You could do like a glaze. You could, on the bundt pan, you could do a glaze so that it kind of falls over the sides. That would be just like a little bit of milk and some powdered sugar, a really quick, easy glaze. And or you could do what I did when I made the creamsicle cake. Was I used the vanilla box cake, I used vanilla pudding, and I used orange Jello. I poked holes and I poured the Jello. You don't want to you just use hot water, not the hot and cold when you use Jello. And it's the regular Jello, not the kind. Actually, there's really only one kind, I guess. I don't know. And just poke it and then just pour it over the top, let it set in, and then frost it. And it was supposed to taste like a creamsicle. It actually kind of did. It wasn't, I probably didn't poke it enough. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to stop talking now and make this cake. So first thing you're going to do is just get the cake mix in the bowl. And I know I'm going to have trouble opening this. Just know it. It's going to go everywhere. Okay. Oh, not too bad. That in there. And when you're this, type of cake, the cake with the pudding mix, again, like I said, you can do all kinds of different things, different flavors. So mix the two together. Looking down because I'm down there, but I'm up here. Hello. Mix that together. All right. Got little pieces of pistachio in there too. Little pieces of nuts. So just kind of whisk it together. Now we need, let's see, a cup of oil. I'm trying to memorize this, but So a cup of oil. It's just regular vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever. Not olive oil. I don't know what would happen if you used olive oil, but I wouldn't. Mix that a little bit. Now we need some milk. Now the box calls for water, but the recipe calls for milk, so we're going to use milk. I'm sure you could use water and it'd be just fine. You could substitute the oil for butter, softened butter. Just adds a little bit of a different texture to the cake. And then 3 eggs. My eggs have been sitting out at room temperature, which you want your ingredients to be at room temperature when you bake. Actually, I took my mixer out, but you know, I think I'm just going to stir this by hand. It's really no big deal. Now, this is already green because of the pistachio pudding, but if you wanted to make it greener, you could throw a few drops of food coloring in there, which I probably will. Because I have a feeling it'll lighten up quite a bit when these eggs don't want to break up. Come on. Shell. And just mix it up. I'm just going to mix it by hand. I'm having trouble with my mixer lately. Seems to be vibrating quite a bit, so I've been putting off getting a new one. Usually a cake mix like this, they want you to beat it for 2 minutes. You know, I don't know how much difference it makes if I do it for 1.5 minutes or get a good arm workout there. I'm going to drop a few drops of food coloring in there just to green it up a little bit. It's actually a little bit prettier color, maybe a few more. Now start small. I put probably 5 the first time and I just put 5 more. Actually by accident because I was only going to do 3, but oh well, it's going to be green. Look at, it's a nice green color. That's really all there is to it. Get it mixed up well. So again, if you don't like the pistachio flavor, you can do just the vanilla, and then you could do the jello thing where you pour the jello over it, poke it, and pour the jello, and it kind of seeps in. It makes it really moist too. It's nice. Okay, that's mixed up pretty well. So I got a 9 by 13. I suppose you could do it, you can make cupcakes, you could do it in pretty much any cake pan. I mean, the instructions for how to bake with all the different cooking times, baking times are on the back, so whatever. And a bundt pan would probably be a good option too. Give it a really good spray, and we'll just get it in there. We'll get it in the oven. Okay, if you weren't here, I would probably lick that. All right, let's just get that all out and get it into the pan. Ooh. Is there anything better than cake batter? I'm a bit of a cakeaholic. This is going to take all my energy not to lick this bowl. I'm just going to spread it out evenly and get it in the oven. I mean, what did that take? 3 minutes? You could do this in the morning and frost it when you get home. Have a nice little St. Patrick's cake after dinner. All right, I got green all over me. I'm going to pop that in the oven. And okay, I'm making it worse. Messy. And I will see you in a little bit. I'll come back and show you. All right, I am back. Cake came out of the oven and I did the toothpick test and it came out clean. It actually took about 36 minutes. It just seemed to be not wanting to bake, but it did. So kind of poke it too. That's another way to test it. If it bounces back, and it's done. And it's pretty cool. I cooled it off. I actually put it in a really cool place so it would cool off quickly. So because I wanted to get this frosting done. So I don't know if you want to call this frosting, but it's, I guess you could call it frosting. I don't know. It's not really your traditional frosting. It's not a buttercream, but it is yummy and it's nice and light. So I've got Cool Whip here. You're going to use the whole tub. I've got sugar-free. Doesn't matter what kind you use, and it can be the store brand. It really doesn't matter. And I have vanilla instant pudding. So that kind of flavors it and thickens it up. It's nice and quick and easy. And like I said, again, what I like about it is it's very light. You could use sugar-free pudding too if you wanted to. And the whole thing would be sugar-free. That goes in there, and then it's just a half a cup of milk. Normally pudding would be 2 cups of milk. You want it to be cold. And we're just going to whisk that up a bit. Gets thick right away because you're not using anywhere near as much milk as you would if you were making it as pudding. And so just get it all incorporated so it dissolves. Alright, and then we're just going to fold in the Cool Whip. Make sure it's thawed and not, you know, sometimes even if it hasn't been in the freezer, the middle of it can be a little bit almost frozen consistency. Just going to fold that in, and because we're making this for St. Patrick's Day, we're going to put some green food coloring in it. Make the whole thing green. Just keep folding. Cool Whip it's not like whipped cream where like if you really stir it vigorously it will deflate. And whipped cream will kind of flatten itself out if you get too crazy with it, but still just folding. You could actually sorry about the noise. Try to sort of whisk it up. Okay, I'm just going to drop a little bit of green food coloring. You don't have to, obviously. Do what makes you happy. If you don't want to do the food coloring and you want to make it colorful, you could just use like green sprinkles or some green sugar or decorate it however you want. It's like a light green. Let's make it a little darker. Always best to put a few drops and then see how that goes and then add more because you can't take it out. Even a little bit more. It's kind of like a mint green at this point. I don't know if it's a little bit hard to see in the video. Make it a little bit darker. It's a nice consistency. It's thick enough to be a frosting, but not so it's not a glaze. And like I said earlier, if you wanted to just pour a glaze over it, you could do that. That's a simple thing to make. It's just some milk and powdered sugar. And I'm sure you can look up online how to make a glaze. That's it. Easy, easy. So we're just going to get that on here. Put the whole thing on there. Hard not to want to dive into that bowl because it looks so good. Okay, just have an offset spatula here. Alexa, stop. And just spread it on. And easy, you know, when you do it in the pan like this, you're just doing the top. You don't even have to worry about the sides or anything. You could turn it out if you want. Anything you want to do. This is just easy, and I'm going to take it to work, so it's, you know, easier to transport. Just spread it all the way to the edges. I'm going to scrape this down. Get every little bit out. Every little bit. And that's it. How easy was that? A few ingredients, and it's delicious. And you can make it your own with whatever toppings you want to do, flavorings that you want to do. So I have some crushed up pistachios here. Should be just enough to cover the top. I'm going to continue the theme because it's got pistachio pudding inside the cake. And even though these are not super green, I'm going to just work with the theme of the cake, the flavoring. But again, put whatever you want to decorate it and have fun with it. Let's just sprinkle that on top. I kind of crushed them up, but not completely. I want to kind of be able to see what it is that's going on. Kind of tells people what flavors to expect. So I didn't want to buy like a giant package of pistachios. Just got like two little packets. They were like $1 a piece. Nuts can be very expensive, so you don't have to go too crazy. You don't have to decorate with nuts. And there it is. And my coworkers are going to gobble it up, I'm sure. Sweet things don't last too long at the library. So I hope you had fun watching, and I hope you make the cake. Make it your own. Make some variations of it, and check out my other videos on the Cumberland Public Library's YouTube page, and also you can see what's coming up on Cumberland Public Library's Facebook page. And we've got lots of other stuff going on too, not just cooking and baking. So check us out. I'll see you again soon.